Imagine we were given a lake full of fish and we were asked to estimate the population size. How would we do this? Well, in maths, we use a statistical technique called the capture-recapture method, which allows us to estimate the size of the population when it's very impractical to count every single individual. So we use a formula, as you can see here, the estimated population size to be the number in the first sample times the number in the second sample over the number marked in the second sample. And what the capture-recapture method is a method of, say, taking a sample of the fish for the first time, catching them, however many you catch, you then mark them, you then release them back into the lake and collect a second sample, and then you divide it by however many were marked when you collected the second sample. So if you're to look at a question like this, it says a fisherman wants to investigate the number of fish in his local lake by using the capture-recapture method. On his first sample, he catches 40 fish. He then tags them and releases them back. He then conducts a second sample where 50 fish are caught and 10 are found to be tagged. We need to estimate the population size of the fish in this lake. So on his first sample, he catches 40 fish, then he catches 50 fish, then he realized that 10 were found to be tagged in the second sample. To estimate, we do something like this, which is going to give us an answer of 200. This is our estimate for the number of fish living in our lake. Okay, the capture-recapture method also has some very key assumptions. It assumes that there was no births, deaths, emigration or immigration, so they don't move lake or move country. All individuals have an equal chance of being caught, so the tagging's not gonna, the tagging's not gonna make them more obvious to catch, and the marks are not lost or washed off, so all marks remain on the fish at all times. Okay, now looking at some questions, it tells us that a biologist tags 80 frogs and releases them. A week later, they catch 100 frogs and only 8 of the second sample were tagged. So we have 80 as our first sample times by 100 in our second sample, and we realize that 8 were tagged. So our estimated population size will be 1,000 frogs. The biologist thinks this number is too high. Give one possible reason why the estimate might be inaccurate. So we can use any of the assumptions that we mentioned before, and we can say that marks were washed off. So when we divided by the number of marks in the second sample, the number would have been lower as some marks were washed off the frogs, and therefore the number estimated in the population size is going to be much higher than if the number marked in the second sample was higher. Okay, looking at the second question, we're told that 50 fish are tagged and returned to a lake. Later, a sample of 70 fish were taken, so this is going to be our numerator, and it tells us that the estimated total number of fish in this lake is 350. It asks us how many of the second sample were tagged. So we have 50 times by 70 divided by the number of fish tagged, and this is our x because we don't know it, is equal to 350. And the way we work this out is to first times through by x on both sides to get, 50 times by 70 is 3,500, and this is going to be equal to 350x. Then x is going to be 3,500 over 350, which is going to be equal to 10. If the second sample only had 5 tagged fish instead, what would the new population estimate be? So the new population estimate would be 50 times by 70, and it tells us that now 5 tagged fish are going to be in the sample. So this is going to be 3,500 divided by 5, meaning that 700 is our new estimate. And as you can see, as the number of tagged fish in the second sample decreases, the number of estimated population also decreases. Okay, looking at the final question today, it says a conservationist captures and tags 120 butterflies. It then tells us that in a second sample, she captures 90 and 10 are tagged. So this is our equation. So we need to estimating the population. We have an estimate of 1080 butterflies in our sample or in our environment, sorry. And to estimate, it says then explain how trap shyness, animals avoiding being caught, again affects the reliability of the estimate. Well, this tells us results are not accurate and representative of true population quantities. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's video. As always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.